We're starting a HypeFriend revolution, one HypeFriend at a time. But we need you.
Yes, we do. Please join our HypeFriend movement. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social.
Go to beahypefriend.com and sign up for our newsletter.
It's just been so rich, and not always fun, but at the same time, I feel like I've been given so much more than I've given. I've been, I've lived a lot of difficult days, but I just feel like the great days, way outnumber or way overshadow the dark ones.
Oh my God, I have a very serious question for you. Like, very serious.
Oh, we're getting deep right away.
Is the tater-tot the most unappreciated potato?
First of all, how dare you ask me that with a straight face? Like you are literally Barbara Walters. I actually think that it is for me. Well, it is not, because for me, it is the potato. Do you hear me?
I saw you eating them for breakfast, and I'm like,
oh,
why?
You're going to call me out eating tater tots this morning? Great. Great.
I was having some FOMO because I feel like more people need to eat tater tots. Like, it's all about the French fry. It's all about the mashed potato.
Yes, but
the tater tot is forgotten about.
And you want to know what's even fiercer?
What?
The sweet potato tot. Hey! Oh, glory!
Well, on that note, or that bell, upgrade to the set.
Yes, I now have a bell.
I think we just need to go into it. Hi, I'm Ashley Eckstein.
I'm Michael James Scott.
And welcome to HypeFriend! Hype, 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 hype!
Yes, honey. Baby, that chicken, that cluckster of it all.
Cluckster?
The cluckster. I don't know where the cluckster came from, but it's the cluckster.
Oh,
it's the cluckster.
my
Look at
gosh.
my cluckster. I'm the cluckster. What you do, cluck? Wait. Before we move on, because I know we have to move on, but we have to discuss this because both of us are literally dying in like the most amazing of likeness of it all, because we are going to be talking to an Olympian today. I'm sweating. I'm like tingly. Like I'm like all the things because like this is an actual Olympian.
Yes.
Yes,
like you don't even understand. So my sister, Tara, grew up ice skating. She was an ice skater, like full competition, everything.
Excuse me,
yes.
Tara?
Yes, Tara.
Tara, excuse me. What do you mean? What?
Like she was a competitive ice skater.
I'm obsessed with this.
And so I grew up like at, are you ready for it? Rock on Ice. Do you remember Rock on Ice?
How dare you?
Orlando, Florida kids.
How dare you throw Rock on Ice at me right now?
Orlando, Florida kids, you will know this. Rock on Ice was the local ice rink.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And I lived in my matching windbreakers.
Oh,
I even
yes.
had like a pageant outing when I was junior Miss Orlando, where I have a photo of myself, like hands on hips in a matching windbreaker in front of the Rock on Ice sign.
I'm just going to call out the fact that she just literally mic dropped to us that she was junior Miss Orlando. Like, she literally was like, so like, even when my junior Miss Orlando outfit, like, how dare you just drop that? Okay, excuse you. Great.
Well, we grew up.
That's so cool. I did not know that.
Yes. We were always watching ice skating, and Scott Hamilton is like legend.
Legend. The fact that we're saying that we're going to be talking to Scott Hamilton
crazy.
Is like literally crazy, and I can't. I'm so excited. We're talking to Scott Hamilton.
Okay. All right. But first, my cheesecake is melting, and I.
Oh. Okay. So it's time.
It's time.
Okay.
It's time.
Ashley Bakes. Oh my gosh.
I love our bell.
I love it. Ashley Bakes.
Okay, so I baked a vegan and gluten-free cheesecake. And this was inspired by our coordinating producer, Creighton.
Hey, Creighton.
Yes, shout out to Creighton. And I met him for the first time, and he was so kind. He's like, hey, I have a gift for you. I make my own maple syrup.
And literally, we both were like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like, and it's apparently a thing. Like,
It's totally a thing.
It's a full thing.
I decided to use Creighton's maple syrup
Yes.
in this cheesecake because maple syrup is an ingredient that I use a lot in my baking. It replaces vanilla, or it's like a natural sugar.
Yeah.
And so this is cheesecake using Creighton's maple syrup, but it's melted. But
that's okay. We're going to go for it. Okay,
yeah.
we're going in.
Okay,
all
we're
right.
going in.
That is
It's made out of cashews.
yes, that is not good. It tastes gluten, dairy, and vegan, all the things free. And it is, I love you, but that is not good. The grainy element has literally, like, as if it was like a bit of sandpaper on the tongue. And now the aftertaste of, I don't even taste the maple syrup. Like literally Creighton literally was like put a thing in the tree and I don't even taste his work at all. So I love you dearly. But this is not good. Wow. Oh my God. And we're gonna give this a wah wah wah. Whoa. No, no, no. Thank you.
Okay.
I think we're gonna, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
We're gonna give her a
Thank
good
you.
job. Ashley Bakes. I love you. I love you.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna
Thank you for always trying my bakes.
And I will always,
Thank you.
because you make me smile. Oh my gosh. Speaking of smiling, I'm gonna move on because I feel so bad. So I'm just gonna
No, don't feel bad. That's part of being a hype friend. is just being there for your friends, even when it's not your ministry. And clearly vegan gluten-free cheesecake is not your ministry.
Yes.
I'm gonna learn to bake something with tater tots.
Don't tempt me now. You careful though. You be careful.
I'm gonna tempt you with a good time. Clearly, the cheesecake is a gripe.
But I'm hyping you making it.
Thank you.
Which brings us to Hyped and Grapes. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Which brings us to Hyped and Grapes.
I like it.
All right, fine. Let's go into the gripes first. What's your gripe, girl?
Okay, so I recently went to my niece's acting class performance.
Oh, okay.
So we were theater kids.
Yes,
we
yes.
did acting classes. So it was their end of it was like 8 weeks, and they had a big performance at the end of their 8 weeks, and they did something that I totally saw why the acting teacher was doing it. They had to introduce themselves, and they had to walk up to a microphone, say their name, and then introduce the next person.
Okay.
But I think you would like this because they had to say, for example, I'll go, "Hi, my name's Ashley, and this is my friend." So they pass it off to their friend.
Okay.
And then you would say, "Hi, my name's Michael, and this is my friend."
Yes.
So that was cool. That's what they were doing. However, this is my gripe. Maybe out of 30 kids, maybe one spoke clearly. They were all scared of their own voice. And I thought, what is happening to this generation?
Yes.
And I say this lovingly, but it's like, this is, and it's not just kids, because adults now too.
Yes.
We are so used to typing that we are scared of our own voices.
Ashley Eckstein, I'm fully with you on this.
Yes.
This is, because yes, it's not just kids. Like, they're full, like, adults that are like, hello, I mean, and I'm like,
Yes.
excuse me? Like, wait, what is your name?
Yes.
Like, say your name.
Say your name. And here's the thing. Our voice, your voice, and I can say this as a voice actor, your voice is a gift. And not just as a voice actor, I do that as my career. No, if you can speak, your voice is a gift.
Yes.
So don't be scared of your voice. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
So my gripe, I'm going to go into a hype.
Okay.
Because the two kind of go together a little bit. So I recently went on a Comic-Con cruise.
Yes.
And I did something so fun. I got to host karaoke.
Oh.
It was so fun.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes, I hosted karaoke with our resident, Brett the Builder.
Oh,
Brett
yes.
Iwan.
Oh, come on, Brett. Hey, Brett.
And then also, I have hosted at D23, a previous event, I've hosted a Disney sing-along with
Yes.
our other dear friend,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
a.k.a. Nina West.
Yes.
And we hosted a Disney sing-along. That is so fun. Karaoke sing-alongs are so fun. So if you're trying to find your voice, host a sing-along, host a karaoke night. People let down their guard. Everyone just has fun. It is so good for your mental health. It's so good for bonding. It's so good for just laughing and having a good time. So I am hyping up karaoke. I'm hyping up sing-alongs. I'm hyping up carrying around with you a fake microphone at all times, because you never know when you're just going to belt out, the sun'll come out tomorrow.
Excuse me.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
It's for me when you drop into that vibrato, like you go, you go right into it, like you just drop right into it, and I'm obsessed.
So that's my gripe and my hype.
Okay.
What are you griping and hyping today?
Okay, so my gripe is this. I was recently in a store. I got a little a latte and a gluten-free coffee, a little gluten-free, like banana bread. That's what it was. And I went to do my, my little tap. I tapped, and right before I was going to press tip, it was already on 25% tip. Now listen. No. First of all, I don't need for you to trick me into what the tip is. I'm going to tip you what the tip is. And also, it might not was worth the 25% tip, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm telling you, and I've seen it where it's been on 30. And so if you press, and when you press like confirm, it's already on the 30. So they've already set it at a thing where you don't get to set your tip. Now I'm going to give you a tip, but we're not going 30, 35, 40, 45. Like, so for me, it's the trickery of the tip being preset from the business that they decided to say, now, no, absolutely not. I think that is not it.
See, I am sweating because I am a stress tipper, and I feel so watched. And so I will always end up over tipping because I stress, and I'm terrible at math in my head. Terrible.
I am too. But what I do know is that 35% is not, you don't get to just tell me it's 35%. You see what I'm saying? So that's, okay?
Okay.
That's the gripe.
That's
okay?
the gripe. Okay.
Now on my hype, boom. So my hype is this, which is interesting because you just had a hype about, well, a gripe about the, because of the phones, like I was typing a lot and like the, this sort of using your voice, like, having a voice, all that. I actually was going to hype up sending a just thinking of you text out of the blue. Because it's the same idea of just sending a a phone call, but some people that's a lot for them. So just the idea of sending a thinking of you text, like of say, hey, I'm thinking of you, and no, you do not have to respond. Like it's not about having the actual response of like responding from the I'm thinking of you text. It's just you sending that and not waiting for a response. Like you were just, it's no expectations. It is sending the, hey, even if it's just like a heart, thinking of you, boom, that's it. And go on with your day. I've gotten a couple of those texts and I find them absolutely beautiful. And I love it. And it just makes me smile. And then I just keep on going. So I'm just putting that out there as a hype.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's something our community wants to do. Like you can just do a little thinking of you text. A little like, hi, like, hey, boo.
That is always a hype. Like I think it needs to be a part of our every day. Like imagine if you just sent someone a thinking of you text once a day.
Yes, just like one, like that's so easy. You're doing
so
it. It's
easy.
so easy. It's so easy. It's so
something
easy.
we can all do.
So that's what I'm.
I
That's
love
what I'm
that hype.
That's my hype.
Oh my gosh! Well, you know what I'm hyping, Michael.
What you hyping, girl?
We're going to talk to Scott Hamilton.
Yes.
Right after this break.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Ashley, is it?
It's time.
I can't even talk because it's like this is happening.
It's time. I wish I had my windbreaker from back in the day and Rock on Ice and my ice skates. It's time. I cannot wait. So let's do this.
All right,
let's do this.
It's official. Okay, y'all. Our guest today helped turn figure skating into must-see television. In the early 1980s, he took the sport by storm, racking up 4 straight world championships and delivering a gold medal performance at the Olympics that had everyone on the edge of their seats. Okay, he rose to the top of the figure skating world with a style that was fast, fearless, and fun. And when the competition ended, the show didn't stop there, honey. Oh, no. This man kept going and pushing through a diagnosis that could have stopped him in his tracks. But instead, he went on to found the global skating sensation Stars on Ice, bringing excitement to audiences everywhere. And for years, he's been the voice that guides millions of fans through Olympic skating biggest moments. I feel like there's not an Olympics without him, okay? Add in resilience, heart, and a lifelong mission to turn challenges into hope through his foundation. And you've got a recipe for true sport spirit. So get ready because we are beyond excited to welcome Olympic champion, skating legend, and all-around joy generator, Mr. Backflip himself, Scott Hamilton.
Oh man, you got to go on the road with me. I just need a hype man. That's awesome. That's the best intro I've ever gotten. That's amazing. Thank you.
Well, listen, we had to bring it because I mean, it's literally the legendary Scott Hamilton. Like you can say legendary about you. I feel
about
like that's,
anyone,
yes, but you are actually legendary. Like that is.
Well, you know, whenever someone says that, it means that I haven't died yet. So we're good. I'll take anything. Just don't invite me late for dinner, and you can call me anything you want. So that's good.
Oh my goodness. Well, Scott, we are so honored to be chatting with you today. Our podcast is all about friendship. It's about being a hype
Mm.
friend. And you are known as like the ultimate hype friend, whether people know you or
Oh,
not. I feel
wow.
like everyone feels like you are their friend. And so
Thank
how
you.
does that happen? Like what does a hype friend mean to you, and how are you such a good hype friend?
Well, I just think it's celebrating life. I think
Mm,
that's the main thing is understanding that life is meant to be loved, life is meant to be appreciated, life is meant to be lived.
mm,
And I think it just, a lot of times I meet people that have just been so beat up by their circumstances that they forget to enjoy every moment, and yeah, the pendulum swings both ways. You're going to have great days and you're going to have long, awful days. And you're going to have great days. And you're going to have awful. So it's just sort of understanding that, things are meant to be endured. They just are. But that doesn't mean that they rob you of your joy. My wife was giving an interview one time, and I've never seen her give an interview before, so I was really fascinated. She's very smart,
uh,
and she was very capable. But I was just, I just curious as to how she would react to things. And whenever I go in for an MRI, I've had cancer, a series of brain tumors. Every time I say whatever the results are today, I'm gonna receive those with the news joyfully, whatever it is, good, bad, whatever. I'm just gonna receive it joyfully.
mm,
And they asked her, like, come on, really, really? Like they asked her this kind of question. It's like, what's this joy thing that he talks about all the time? And she said, oh, no, 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 no. Joy isn't the lack of fear and suffering. It's how you go through it. And I was like, okay,
ooh,
that's why she married me, because she gets it. She
wow.
totally gets it. So,
Wow.
it's not, it's, I've been given so much. I mean, everything I am, everything I have, everything I get to experience, it's all a gift, and I kind of wish, more people would understand that. It's like we're given life. We
Mm,
just are. Two
mm,
people come together and life is great. We're given that. All right. So we're given this identity, and the Lord provides us to be unique, and we have our own set of marching orders and talents, skills, sets, whatever they are. We just have to, like in this great mystery, figure out what our sort of skill sets are and how we can apply them. And if we're lucky, we'll step into a job where we never actually work a day in our lives. We can just enjoy every bit of it. And
yeah.
I've kind of been blessed in that. And then, from then on, it's just sort of, working it out. It's you're going to have, times of incredible, where things just feel easy. And I always tell people, because, as a cancer survivor, it's one of those things like, I'll talk to somebody about cancer and they'll say, do you know how you've truly survived? And they're like, oh, no, what is it? What I go, when you get upset in traffic, because you're back to sweating the small stuff. It's like,
Yes.
that's not
Wow.
a big deal at all. So pretty much anything that comes your way, you have the opportunity and the choice to kind of look at it as a terrible thing or as an opportunity to grow, or just to reveal how strong and resilient you actually are. So I try not to, and I get pulled in, those days where it's just like, ugh. But
Yeah.
then I have to wake myself up and I say, but you're still here. So there's an
Mm.
opportunity for um, making something out of nothing, or just turning something upside down, which I did most of my professional career.
Scott Hamilton literally in the last just 2 minutes has just pulled like 440 mic drops on us.
Well, I'm very philosophical, but I guess that comes with experience. It's
Yeah.
a lot of kids, these days are, sort of like this. They forget
Uh-huh.
just sort of how to look up and around, and my wife is amazing because she's always looking at the sky. And she's always looking for something beautiful, like a cloud formation or a sunset or a rainbow, or she's always looking for amazing things. And she sees hawks all the time, and it just amazes me, and it reminds me that that's kind of the real deal is to kind of look up and, just see what's around you. And it really is magnificent. And it never ceases to amaze me, just how when we just look up and we look around, just how we can just see the beauty that's around us all the time. No matter where you are and what you're doing, there's something magnificent to be seen, and getting off these things is kind of something I highly recommend.
Yeah.
You just wrote a
But it's
song.
hard to do.
I feel
It's
like you
hard to
just wrote a
do.
song. Like I want to take those words you just put, like those are lyrics to a song. It's just like look up and like like
Yes.
there's something to that. I'm obsessed with that right now. Look up.
Yay!
Full body chills. Oh my gosh.
Well, and just in speaking with that, just a quick little something. I don't know when have you felt most supported by a friend? Like what is that for you?
I mean, it's endless. It's all the times when I got sick when I was really young. It lasted for about 4 years. I didn't really grow or develop properly, and they couldn't diagnose it. And so my mom, who I love more than anything else, she was like my go-to favorite person on the planet. Back then, children's hospitals were different than they are now. They were like a bed and a chair in the corner. And more times than I can remember, she slept in that chair so I wouldn't be alone. And so she would sleep in a chair. It's not like now they have day beds and they have all these little, they make it comfortable for the parents. Back then it was just, a very sterile environment, and she would sleep in the chair in the corner. And I always thought that was incredibly kind and loving and amazing. So, that's one. I mean, they gave up everything to keep me in skating. They're very sacrificial financially. And then, I look at, Helen and Frank McLaren. When my parents ran out of money, they loved skating. They didn't have any children of their own, and they sort of said, well, we'll take over and pay for all the skating expenses, and became a set of parents to me. And he passed away about a year after, 2 years after they started sponsoring me. And then Helen became kind of my mom after my mom died. So, it's extraordinary that, you just sort of create your timeline, and the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs. And it's really remarkable that for every low, there's an equal high. And I always got it wrong. I always thought for every high, there's going to be something coming that's going to destroy it. And, it's just throughout the years, it's like second brain tumor diagnosis. I went in to tell my assistant at the time, it's back. And we just felt like we got kicked in the stomach, because the first one was met with a lot of prayer and a lot of faith, and we got through it. It was they did the biopsy where they go into your head and they take a piece of it, and then it was kind of scary because they tell you all the bad things that could happen, in that surgery. Yeah. But I woke up and I knew who I was, where I was. I could speak and I could wiggle my toes, so I figured, okay, it was a good surgery. And then they told me what it was, and it was actually, I was born with it. It's what my childhood illness was. They just couldn't diagnose it back then. And for whatever reason, all those years I skated, maybe it was all the times I fell on my head. The tumor didn't have a chance to survive. I have no idea. But anyway, when they treated it with radiation, then it came back 6 years later. And when I told my assistant that it was back, she started giggling. And I was like, okay, you have to tell me what's so funny. And she goes, I can't wait to see where this one takes you. Because she'd seen me go through so many things. She'd seen me go through, just all these challenges and setbacks. And every time something came out of it that was unexpected and truly magnificent. But, part of that was stepping into it. So it's just, the more people get to know you, the more they can sort of almost predict what's going to happen before you can. And so there's been a lot of those, watching my kids being born and seeing those relationships just, now they're adults and they're amazing and so much fun. And I've just been blessed beyond my wildest dreams. And so all those years, I look at and it's like, well, that prepared me for this, and this set up that. Cancer is the best thing that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't have my wife and children if it weren't for cancer. It kind of stopped me in my tracks and forced me to kind of reconsider the way I'd been living. My mom didn't have a second chance, and I did, and I was going to take advantage of it.
When there's a low, there has to be a high. Because I'm
Yeah.
actually a really positive
Yes.
person. I am. I feel very
Yeah, you are.
fortunate. I'm very wired to be positive. But I think everyone has that thought of like, oh, things are going really good. Where's the drop?
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, it's
Where's
like
the
hiding
but?
behind the bushes.
Yeah.
Don't go
Yeah.
there.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
But those times are meant to strengthen you. They're not meant to defeat you. And it's, again, I think due to kind of my extraordinary sort of set of experiences, I really live in my faith, and I love it. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's not for me." And it's like, well, I've understood that throughout it all, I've never felt alone. I've never felt isolated, because I kind of was aware that throughout every setback and every letdown, it's sort of that, that old song that I think it's Garth Brooks, that unanswered prayers. You look at all the things that you thought you couldn't live without, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, oh, I'm so, but then it opens up this whole other opportunity that's like, I did not see that one coming. That is amazing. Yeah, like I have a picture in my office. It's over there. It's the president of Ice Capades, who I really loved, and he and his wife were amazing people, and he's the one that let me go from the Ice Capades. And he took me for a walk, and he said, "We're not bringing you back. We have a new owner. He doesn't want men. He only wants female stars. So good luck in your career." I was 2 years into my professional life, and I was thinking, "Oh man, I was hoping for at least 4." And now I'm like jobless. But that rejection, that loss of opportunity, created a window where I'd learned so much, and I'd proven that I was reliable, because I never missed a show. I never missed a press call. I was learning about production for some weird reason. My manager came to me and said, "Hey, he was with IMG. He just said, do you want to help us start a new tour?" And I remember looking at him saying, "Let me check my calendar." It's like, I'm so unemployed right now. Yes, let's do this. So we started Stars on Ice. And my goodness, that was 40 years ago. It's coming up on the 40th anniversary. And they're going out again this year with all the Olympians, Stars on Ice. And from what I can see, I went to see if I could get tickets for a show in Anaheim, and the only tickets available were in the very upper rafters. So it's like, this is good. Yay!
Yes.
Skating is back. Skating is back.
God.
So
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Well,
it's so fun.
okay, let's take it back a little bit before, Stars on Ice. As a solo figure skater, because my husband actually is an athlete. He used to play baseball, and being a part of a team sport, you are every day, learning to play with a team of people, and you have to build those friendships. But in a solo sport, it's you. And especially in something that has such high competition. So how do you build friendships when it's a solo sport and you're surrounded by your competitors?
It was funny when I was in studio with Mike Tirico during this last Olympics. It was the 42nd anniversary of my Olympic gold medal, and I got just this group text with the Brian Orser, who was silver medalist to me, and Joseph Object, who was a bronze medalist. We're best friends, and we had this text string, "Happy anniversary, guys! Hope you're doing great." And he's like, "Wait, what?" No, it's dog eat dog. It's like, how does this even happen that you're friends with the other guys on the podium? Weren't they mad at you for winning? It's like, no. We're just really good friends. On the 40th anniversary, we met in New York, and they had a rink under Brooklyn Bridge. And we did a fundraiser for my skating foundation, or my cancer foundation. And it was this really fun schedule. We had 16 Olympians there that night. And Brian and Joe and I were together to celebrate our 40th anniversary together. Brian went from China to Zurich to New York to be we could all be together. And it's sort of one of those things where, it's not just being competitive, it's how you compete, And I was always, the guy that would wish my competitors good luck. And I had a competitor one time said, "I'll never do that." It's like, why? And he goes, "Because I don't care how I win. I hope they all skate bad." I go, "No, it's like you want everybody to be at their best so people can really be comfortable with their result and not have regrets or not have this or that." And so I always wish everybody good luck. And I really just wanted to be really good friends with my competitors. And a lot of that was so they wouldn't work really hard to beat me and I wouldn't be part of their, training. But it's just that. It's like, I think, you lead with kindness and you lead with, just being friendly and open and being honest in that. And I do think that people, kind of ultimately understand that a lot of what we're doing is an activity. A lot of what we're doing is aspirational. And as long as we put our best foot forward and skate as well as we can, we have to accept the result. And, going back to the Olympics, it's like Chalk and Bates were, favored coming in and they were up against the French team. And he's the reigning Olympic champion with a new partner. And each competition, they just got stronger and stronger. And we were hoping that, Madison and Evan would come away with a gold medal, but it was silver. And there was a couple of goofy things like the French judge, had some national bias. And actually, I think what I saw on the scorecard, and I have to go back and look, but what I saw was that the French judge had Madison and Evan 8th. So it was obvious, like, okay, this isn't right. The judge probably shouldn't judge again for a while. But in that, they were kind of disappointed the first. They really had their heart set on that gold medal. And I had a chance to talk to them afterwards. And I said, what was your mindset coming into this? And they said, well, just that we wanted to have 4 good skates. And I said, and what did you do? It said, we had 4 really good skates because they had 2 in the team competition where they won gold. And then they had 2 great, phenomenal performances in the individual competition where they came in second. It was really close. And I said, well, you did everything you came here to do. Yeah. And whatever the results are, you just have to accept them. And I think if you're able to go into it with that mindset, that the only thing you have control over is your performance. And I look at baseball. I mean, let's go back to your husband. Baseball. Do you realize that if you only fail 2 out of 3 times in baseball, you're in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. I mean, that's unbelievable. If I fail 2 out of 3 times and I'm going to be near the bottom, in skating because you have to skate clean. It's like, I love that. And the whole idea of, I struck out, I'm just going to get back and, get back in the batter's box. And next time I'm going to hit it over the fence. It's like, that's a really cool mindset of just having to be resilient and having to, kind of, find confidence out of failure. That's amazing. I look at other sports and I get so jacked up, just like, that is awesome. When volleyball, when they lose a point, they're all like high-fiving each other and fist bumping, and they call it bounce back behavior. Like, no matter what happens, if it's great, we're high-fiving. If it's bad, we're high-fiving. It doesn't matter. It's all good because we know that it's not one team dominating another. It's who makes the least mistakes, right? So it's really wild how sports can teach us resilience and teach us how to overcome our weaknesses, teach us how to be accountable. I mean, give me an athlete any time, and I'll tell you somebody that's had to rise above a mountain of stuff just to be where they are, no matter where they are.
Amen, Scott Hamilton. Amen.
Yes.
yes. I love that. I'm also curious because of the relationships that you have, because we are talking to a world champion, as we've said, now the Olympian, the legendary, and so you've gotten to meet so many people from other countries and all of that, right? Like, and obviously have made amazing friendships, obviously, with a lot of those other athletes and other people from other countries, and like language barriers, all that stuff, and the different cultural aspects of what that is. What is it like, and how do you make friendships with other other athletes from other countries? What is that, the competitive nature in other countries, and like, is it different? Like, is there, what is that like, and what has that experience been like for you over these years?
What you realize is, even though politically, they live under a different kind of environment, economically, whatever that is, we're all in the shared experience of having to prepare, to perform under the same rules, under the same guidelines or the same, opportunities, limitations. And it's really extraordinary that we have more in common than we don't. And I think that's why everybody loves the Olympics so much, is because the world comes together for those 16 days and they set aside their political or ideology, all their ideologies, and they just come together to celebrate life and youth and excellence and sport and friendly competition. And they're allowed to take pride in their countries and their nationalities, and they celebrate that. But it's not it's not like something that divides. It's something that unifies. And I think that's why people so desperately love the Olympic Games, is because they get to see the world coming together like we all want to be, just in peace and harmony, and really loving and respecting, not just what we have in common, but what we have not in common, our differences. And it's really super healthy. And it's fun to see, the athletes when they get to the finish line, whether they're from Norway or Japan or Jamaica, whatever it is, everybody has the same sort of mindset of hitting that finish line or getting the score or whatever it is, that it's so compelling. And we celebrate their achievements, and we celebrate, just wherever, if they're supposed to come in last and they don't, they come in next to last. That's something to celebrate. Even if they do come in last, they're Olympians. We celebrate that too, so yes. It's just really fun to kind of see the world differently through that lens. And I've always I got an email from this old friend of mine back in the day. He's from Austria. And, he wasn't one of the stronger competitors, but I remember just, how much I liked him and how I thought he was a great guy. And he didn't have any guards, for his blades. So I'd share mine with him. And I ended up giving him my guards. The guards are what you put over your blades to protect them from getting messed up. Yeah. And so I just gave him my guards, and in his email to me at the Olympics, he said, I still have those guards. And that was like 40 something years ago. So those are the relationships that, we don't maybe speak the same language, and we grew up differently. We ate different foods. Our whole existence is different, but there's so much of it that's the same, that we just sort of step into it and celebrate that.
Friendship is a universal language.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Did someone in your life, what would they do to hype you up? Or what would you do to hype yourself up? And what did that look like for you?
When my mom passed, I started getting into more of, I got to honor her and all of her sacrifices. So I'm going to take her with me to the ice, and she's going to be my strength and my accountability. So I would do that, and I started getting better. And then the results soon followed, where the last competition she saw me compete in, I was 9th at nationals. And then because, she passed and I started honoring her, I was 3rd the next year at the U.S. nationals. Wow. And I was on the world team. And then 2 years later, I'm on the Olympic team. A choreographer taught me that if you're in performance, if you're in stage or theater or anything performance, 11 o'clock always comes. And that's so wise. It's like, no matter what happens, 11 o'clock is going to come, and you're going to be on your way back to the hotel. It's fine. Or back home, whatever that is. 11 o'clock always comes.
Yes.
And so it's like, let's just be chill and relax and see what happens. It's really remarkable that, it's not being negative or anything else. It's just sort of saying, whatever, splat. Okay, get up. I've fallen on the ice over 41,600 times minimum. And it's kind of in that when you get up 41,600 times, the fall takes on a different identity. It's like, okay, that didn't define me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're still alive. Okay, here we go. We'll try it again. Okay, that didn't work. And it's really remarkable that I've learned that, and I when I do any kind of corporate speech or anything, I'll always sort of, do one of those audience participation things. How many people in this room have failed? And I'm the first one to raise my hand.
Yes.
And if it's not 100%, right? I say either you're not listening or you're lying, because we all fail. So I just sort of try to convince them that failure isn't horrific. It's just information. That's all it is that didn't work, try something else. That didn't work, try it a different way. That didn't work. Okay, it's, whatever. It just is feedback. John Wooden was a famous basketball coach at UCLA, and he said, my teams never lose. And he goes, of course they do. And he goes, no, they either win or they learn. They never lose. It's like, that's so good. That's so good.
That's so good. Oh gosh.
So good.
Wow. I'm literally like there's like
my life has changed from this interview.
I'm literally wanting to like take notes. Like I'm like in like a class right now because I'm like,
that's
yeah, professor, right?
Professor Hamilton said this. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Well, so Scott, I mean, listen, you have been through more stuff than many people will ever experience, just in terms of life, like the ups and the lows. Like there's that phrase, if he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. And it's a very obvious thing that is in your case. You have had some challenges. You have had some crazy diagnoses.
Yeah.
You've turned that literally into foundation. Like,
yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
And we are so inspired by that on so many levels, because you have literally, as Ashley said, you're known as the ultimate hype friend. I think, period. Like it's just not Scott Hamilton, the skater. Like you are hype, like Scott Hamilton, the ultimate hype friend. How did that come about for you? How were you able to go through that and then still turn life around and then literally hype others around you through such a very difficult time?
Experience, it's just getting through stuff. It's all, it's funny that, I never, really dated in high school. It's kind of when everybody's dating and everything else. Like a little bit, maybe I had a prom date, and but I was always the shortest kid in class. I always had the kind of the lowest self-esteem. There was always a lot of, I didn't, like, I always wanted to be different than I was, because I just knew that I was the sickest and the littlest, and I had every nickname, hey, Peanut or Pee Wee or Half Pint, whatever that was. So I always felt less than, and it was like I allowed that to kind of, shake my self-esteem. But then, as I started succeeding in skating, it was like I realized that, I had a lot of girls in skating that liked me. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. That's because the rink was my world, So I thought that was kind of wild. And then you sort of you build as you go. But it's really funny that I want you to think about something just for a minute. And this is your homework, right? This is your homework.
Okay.
So,
all right, Professor Hamilton.
All right. So I have a buddy. His name is Sterling Ball, and he owns Ernie Ball Guitars and Strings. If you're a musician, Ernie Ball Strings. Anyway, we got to be friends a million years ago. He actually adopted me as his son, and he's only 3 years older than I am, which is kind of weird. But anyway, he goes, you want to hear my latest thing? And I go, yeah, of course. He said, marketing genius. It's like I'm in an inner sanctum moment right here. He goes, there's my latest thing. And I go, what is it? And he goes, personal ads. And it's like, personal ads have been around forever. Like, you guys are probably too young to remember newspapers. But in newspapers, but in newspapers, you get a little piece of the newspaper that you buy, and it's to put yourself out there to maybe draw interest from somebody, to build relationship with. And I go, yeah, I know what personal ads are. And I go, what's new about those? And he goes, no. In mine, and here's your homework, you have to be 100% honest. So that changes the game just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, I want to hear yours. I go, let me think about it for a minute. So I came up with my personal ad, and mine reads like this: short, bald, half-neutered, chemoed, radiated, surgically repaired, retired male figure skater of unknown ethnic origin seeks a beautiful, intelligent woman for long walks, laughter, and an interest in my hobby for collecting life-threatening illness. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? It's like, come on, it's like everybody's dream. It's like we can take stock of anything, and it's like short, bald, half nude, chemo radiates, or it's like, ay, that doesn't sound like fun. I wouldn't trade with anybody. It like I realize that all of us have so much in us to share, and we're all kind of broken at the same time. It's like, okay, it's fine. Let's just love each other through it and see what we can get out of this adventure, that we call life. And so, yeah, it's all of it has been, I wouldn't want to go through a lot of it again. It's funny. I did this bike ride. I'm all over the map here. I did this bike ride. There's this gentleman who had brain cancer, terminal brain cancer, and he wanted to raise money for my cancer foundation. So he said, I've always, since I was a kid, wanted to ride my bike the entire length of the Natchez Trace Parkway. So the Natchez Trace Parkway goes through 4 states. It starts in Natchez, Mississippi, and it ends in Nashville. And he goes, can I do that and raise money for you guys? Will you help me? And so the executive director of my foundation said, yeah, I can. Let me look into this. Let me get back to you for a minute. So I have to figure out if we can even use the Natchez Trace, blah, 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 all the restrictions. So she called a gentleman named Johnny Burrell, who does all our bicycle fundraising. And she said, this guy has brain cancer, and he wants to ride the Natchez Trace. Is that a thing? And he said, he'll never make it without me. So he took 2 weeks off of his job, and he mentored this guy. He taught him how to ride a bike. He taught him how to do hills. He allowed him to draft off of him. He pulled him up hills. He did everything he could to get this guy to the finish line. And I rode the last 4 miles in with Johnny and Scott. And I was so inspired that I said I had to do it the next year. I have to. So instead of doing it in 9 days, Johnny and Scott did, Johnny said, we're going to do it in 5 days. And so I said, well, that's 444 miles. I go, that seems like a lot each day. And he goes, yeah, it is. It averages out to 88.8 miles on a bike per day for 5 straight days. And so on the second day, we did 93 the first day and 90 the second day. And I couldn't even lift my legs to walk up a flight of stairs. I said, Johnny, I'm done. And he goes, no, you're not. I go, yeah, no, I think I know my body. I can't even move. How am I going to get through 3 more days? And he goes, at some point tomorrow, you're going to ask me to do 100 miles. And I said, no, I think I know my body pretty well. I think I'm done. He goes, take an Epsom bath tonight. Tomorrow, I got some lymphatic release stuff I can do for you, and then we'll get it going. So the next day, he had me ride the first mile, with no resistance, spinning as fast as I could, getting the pedals going. Then cruising for a mile. Next mile, spin as fast as you can, no resistance. Then cruise a mile. And then for the 5th mile, go as fast as you can with the pedals with no resistance. And it was in that 5th mile, I just felt my legs release. And I looked at him, I go, let's go. We averaged over 24 miles an hour for the next 90 minutes.
Wow.
And we were going so fast that I just said, we got to the 70-mile marker, and I said, let's go 100. And he goes, I told you so. And we went to the 100th mile marker, and I got in the van to go to the hotel. And all I had in my mind, it was just something in my spirit said, go back. And I was like, I don't know what it means, go back. It just said, go back. And I was like, go back. I don't know. What does go back mean? I go back. So I looked at the date and I said, and I went back 25 years. And 25 years ago on that day was the day I wanted to quit chemotherapy. Because I was so sick and I was so exhausted and I was so over it. My life had changed so drastically that I just wanted to quit and die. It was on that day 25 years ago.
No way.
And so the next morning I said, let's go back to the mile marker. And we went back to the mile marker. And I just recorded a video. And I said, yesterday I rode 100 miles on a bicycle. I never thought I'd do that in my lifetime. But 25 years ago, yesterday was the day I wanted to quit chemotherapy because I just felt like my life wasn't worth living anymore. And I'm here to tell you, if you're sitting in an infusion chair, if you feel like your life isn't worth living, there's a mile marker waiting for you. You just have to keep pedaling towards it. And I dedicated the rest of my ride to a friend who's going through cancer. And that day, we had tailwinds like you wouldn't believe. And then all of a sudden, they weren't tailwinds anymore. It was
Oh
a
my
driving rain and like 50 degrees in our face. And it was like, okay, game on, let's go. This is going to be so challenging. But it's those shifts in mentality. It's remembering that we're so much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. That, it's those types of things, that's like, yeah, we're built for it. We just have to step into it, and we're so much stronger and tougher than we give ourselves credit for.
There needs to be a Scott Hamilton course.
So I'll wear you out. I will totally wear you out.
No,
It's
not at all.
like, no, it's nuts. It's I don't know. It's just been so rich, and not always fun, but at the same time, I feel like I've been given so much more than I've given. I've been, I've lived a lot of difficult days, but I just feel like the great days, way outnumber or way overshadow the dark ones. And I think that's where my faith comes in. It's like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready. Whatever you want me to experience, I know, I know Jesus experienced something I never will, and he did it for me. So I can step into that relationship, with pure gratitude. So, it just comes down to, what do I need today to get me through? What do I need? And today, what I needed was to talk to you guys. This is such a gust of wind in my sails. I can't even begin to tell you that, just meeting you and just the whole identity of your podcast. It's so awesome that, it's like, yeah, let's go. Let's hype. Let's be a hype friend. Let's do this. And it's rich. It's awesome.
This is not an overstatement. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, mean this. There's moments that change your life. And I know I will go back to this interview regularly because you've said so many things that will stick with me and change my life.
You and your light, I believe, are one of the reasons why we needed to have this podcast. Like, to be able to hear this means so much to, I'm speaking for Ashley,
Yes.
because but this means so much to us, that you are sharing your soul and your light with us, but to all, for us, it's about the community and all of those out there. We talk about starting a friendship revolution, one hype friend at a time, right? And you are this story. Your words are the kind of words that literally start hype friend revolutions.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period.
Well, it's so funny, it's like on those days where I just feel like I'm under assault. I just want to give this to you and your audience. There's just 5 words, and I know where it's coming from. It's just like, okay, you just want me to be negative, and you just want me to be, having a pity party. And so I'll just, kind of say it out loud. Is that all you got? Really? Is that all you got? Because I'm stronger than that. I'm stronger than you. Whenever the enemy comes in and just starts whispering in your ear, it's like, is that all you got? Really? And it's really amazing that when you can take power in the storm, you can take charge. It changes the whole equation. Like, you're having a terrible day and you just feel like you're under assault. It's just like, is that all you got? I'm still here, still happening. And, I woke up, I had a brain surgery in 2010 and it didn't go as planned. So 1 brain surgery turned into 9, and then I ended up going blind in my right eye the day I was to be released, and they got most of it back. But it was one of those things where I had to remember, when I woke up from the surgery, I was in a hallway. I wasn't even in the recovery room because the elevators went down for some weird reason. And I was crashing off the anesthesia. And I just kept saying, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. I just kept saying it over and over again. And I went through shivering, then shuddering, and then my body I was able to kind of just in the moment, just keep repeating those words, this too shall pass. And I was able to kind of relax and then get up to neuro ICU to start my recovery. And it was a remarkable thing to look at my anesthesiologist, Matthias, who was standing right next to the gurney that was taking me up to neuro ICU. They were stuck in a hallway. And he said, this isn't good that I'm coming off, this anesthesia. And he didn't want to give me any more because, again, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I just kept repeating that. And so out of that experience, I had T-shirts made that just all they say is, this too shall pass. And every time I wear that T-shirt, my kids look at me and they go, you okay? I go, yeah, I'm good. You're sure you're okay now, right? You're okay. Why? I'm just checking in just to make sure you're okay. And I go, like, I'm good. And so, it's for everyone out there, life is not about perfection or about, getting what we want. It's about, enduring with joy and understanding that, rejection, loss of work, disease, whatever it is, sometimes it's the greatest blessing. Going back to Garth Brooks, sometimes it's the greatest blessing of all. If I would have stayed in Ice Capades, I probably would have had a 6-year career because I was able to start my own tour. I was on the road for 20. I had to stop because it was like, okay, enough. It's like I was just trying to stay out there thinking it's imposter syndrome. It's like, well, I'm still on the road now. I'm really fooling a lot of people here. And it got to the point where I just said, no, I need balance in my life. And so I got off the road. I got married and started a family like right away. My son was born 9 months and 2 days after we got married. And it was like, wow. And I wanted to be off the road because I wanted to see his first steps and hear his first words. I figured after all those years, I earned the right to be his dad. And here's kind of how those things end up. Like on his senior year of high school, he goes, Dad, we need to talk. And I go, about what? And he said, about spring break. What do you want to do for spring break? And he goes, I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Oh.
Yeah. So he and I, boys trip. I go, you pick the place. We'll go wherever you want to go. So we went to the Caribbean and we sat on the beach and laughed and talked and bonded. And to this day, I found a picture of him sitting on the beach chair, and I sent it to him the other day. He's in Los Angeles right now training. He wants to be in the UFC. He's a fighter. And I sent him that picture, and he goes, best day of my life. It's like, that's what we do. That's what we do is we just try to have a relationship with our kids and just try to love them and, just support them and just be that source of consistency and honesty. And it's remarkable that to this day, we still have that relationship. It's really cool.
Well, Scott Hamilton, thank you so much.
Well, I've had a blast and I can't thank you enough. And whatever, anytime, anywhere, any place, just reach out. I'm always available to you guys.
Oh my God.
Thank
Scott
you
Hamilton
so
told me
much.
to reach out.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Oh.
Ashley Eckstein.
What just happened?
My mind is blown. My mind is blown on so many levels. On so many levels.
It's so funny because after literally the first question, I did feel like I was a kid at school.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes, immediately.
Oh,
like there were so
gosh.
many things that was like, that's important. Wait, that's important. Oh my God,
Yes,
that's important.
I need to take notes.
Like that's. I
I'm
want to
in
remember that. I
school.
want to remember that. I want to remember that.
There was just so much in that. How are we going to
How are
pick
you
a one
picking-
last thing?
How are we picking the one last thing? I mean, I think I have mine, and I feel like.
I wonder if it's the same as mine.
Should we say it at the same time? I won't do. Okay. Wait.
Okay, let's play a game of Jinx.
Okay, Jinx.
Jinx.
You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Look up.
Ah! Yes!
Jinx, personal jinx. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look up. Look up.
That was profound.
Look up. I'm like, that is like, I will be saying that daily.
Yes. And I think
Look up.
it represents so much of what he said. First of all, I am naturally, I think, a look up person because I'm always looking at the clouds. I'm always appreciating the sunsets and sunrises. They're just very special moments to me where it'll take me out of my day and bring me to the present moment. But it also represents like where he was talking about if there's a low, then there's going to be a high.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So just look up.
As opposed to the opposite, which
Yes.
is what where we all we kind of like most people go where like it's a high, like there's coming surely there's a low coming, and it's like, well, okay, like maybe, but like why does it have to be that?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I also love, you know, I live in New York City, so sometimes looking up, like the actual physical looking up, you know, could be like, because you're in your zone, but I'm gonna think about that metaphorically as well, walking around, because I think it can also inspire others. Like even just the idea of thinking about looking up, that changes how you
Yes,
walk
how you carry
and how
yes.
you carry yourself. Just
Yeah.
that alone. And that can inspire, like, and you could literally be passing somebody and you don't know why they look different. And it could just because they are thinking about this idea of looking up. So I want to be that. Like, I want that to be the reason why you're on the street and you're like, what's going on with that guy? Like, and I'm like, I'm looking up.
You can
looking up? Look
inspire
up with me.
people just by your body language.
Yes. Let's look up.
Oh, well, you know, I have a rule. My husband and I have a rule. When one person's down, the other has to be up. We can't both be down. And I say that because we have to help each other.
Yeah.
And so now when one of us is down, I'm going to be like, all right, look up.
Look up.
Look up. One of us has to look up.
Look up, y'all. Look up.
All right, look up. Oh my goodness. Well, this was an amazing episode.
This was pretty amazing. I'm thrilled. I'm very happy. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes.
Okay. Look up, y'all.
Look up.
I'm Michael James Scott.
And I'm Ashley Eckstein.
And remember, be a hype friend.
The hype starts with you.